Hey, what's good? It's Marshall Methods the Fourth here, back to you guys today with another video. And in today's video, I want to talk about why are Black Americans so sensitive. And before I start this video and start talking about and explaining my reasons for believing because of the proof that I have seen in my own personal experience coming across many Black Americans on social media and whatnot to pretty much prove my point that sadly many of them, maybe even most of them, are just so incredibly sensitive about many things that honestly seem to me at least so ridiculous. And also, before I start out this video, I do want to say that obviously I know for a fact that not all Black Americans are like this. And for the ones who aren't like this, I mean, you guys obviously don't have to worry about this video or what I'm about to say. But anyway, the first of many reasons why I believe that Black Americans are so sensitive, one of the many things that I have seen time and time again, like every time I go on Instagram, which is the only other social media platform that I use other than or besides YouTube, and I follow many good-looking, attractive, fine, gorgeous, beautiful-looking Black women on Instagram, and what I have seen many of them say or talk about or pretty much make posts about, at least on their personal social media accounts, is like sometimes when it comes to it, some Black girls, and especially the young ones, will sometimes wear custom-made t-shirts that say on them, "My skin is not a crime." And I can't help but be so irritated and annoyed with how repetitive that whole bullshit false narrative and notion is that so many Black Americans, unfortunately in this country of America, actually believe that their skin color is a crime, or that the reason that many of them are being shot and killed by police officers, and not just white police officers, they can be shot and killed by a Mexican American police officer, an Asian American police officer, an Indian American police officer. It's not just like they're only getting shot by white police officers. Hell, even sometimes they get shot and killed by Black American police officers. But the truth of the matter of fact is, it has nothing to do with their skin color, why they're being shot and killed. It has absolutely, positively nothing to do with that. But of course, the mainstream media, all the overrated, extremely severely popular news channels like CNN, MSNBC, NBC, and so on and so forth, pushes out and promotes this false lie that the reason why so many Black Americans are being supposedly unfairly and wrongfully shot and killed by police officers is just simply because they're Black. Which is honestly the most stupid thing that I have ever heard and seen of in my life. I mean, that would literally be like another race of person saying that, oh, people are racist against me because of my skin color, or I'm excluded from certain things in society because of my skin color, or because of my race, or people in my race in general. Like, no, it's not because of that. And if you believe that, I honestly feel really sorry for you. I honestly do feel bad for you, because you have been lied to. You have been brainwashed and manipulated. You've been a victim to the fake news media, the mainstream media that has literally brainwashed and manipulated so many Black Americans to believing this narrative that the reason that they or people from their race are being shot and killed by police officers or have bad run-ins with police officers in general is just simply because of their skin color, which is a false ass bullshit lie that of course the mainstream media pushes and promotes. And it's not like it's just them. It's liberal politicians, it's liberal, extremely severely left-wing celebrities who are so politically retarded. I mean, when it comes to celebrities and what their political stances are and their views and beliefs, they are absolute morons. And honestly, when it comes to celebrities, I don't want to fucking hear your garbage political views and beliefs on anything, because they're literally just puppets and pawns in the hands of Hollywood elitists that are using them and controlling them to push out and promote fake bullshit propaganda and agenda that they want to brainwash and manipulate so many people into believing. And in this case, they want celebrities, super far left-wing news people, and super far left-wing liberal politicians to push out, promote, and literally shove down this narrative down young Black Americans' throats and get so embedded in their heart, soul, and minds that the reason why they or their kind are being shot at by police or have terrible run-ins with police officers can be all pretty much explained down to the point because of their skin color, because they're Black. And that's not true. And when I see any young Black American girls wearing shirts on their social media accounts that say, "My skin color is not a crime," honest to God, sometimes I just want to comment on their posts, who said your skin color was a crime? I mean, seriously, tell me who, please. Point the person out, or point the people out who supposedly or apparently said your skin color is a crime. I mean, please tell me, because I am curious as to know who the people or who the person is that said your skin color is a crime, or simply because that you're Black, you're like a bad person, or that you're illegal, or that you're a criminal, or whatever. Like, who said your skin color was a crime? Who? Where did you hear that? And also from who? From who did you hear that narrative and notion that your skin color is a crime? Who, of all people, told you that? And I'm pretty sure that they were told that by, of course, the mainstream media, news anchors from CNN, MSNBC, NBC, and other super far left like news channels, also like NPR. That's a super far left wing radio station, for example. Either radio stations or news channels or whatever, or liberal politicians, of course, would say some bullshit like that, or celebrities in Hollywood who are nothing but puppets and pawns in the hands of the elitists who have their entire lives controlled. And also, And of course, just pretty much their parents who have been brainwashed and manipulated first, so then they brainwash and manipulate their children growing up. And it's just honestly tragic. And it really annoys and irritates the shit out of me when I see this time and time again. I mean, I cannot even tell you how many times I have seen so many black girls on Instagram wearing shirts or just simply making like a post saying, my skin color is not a crime, or some bullshit like that, when nobody said that your skin color was in the first place. And I mean, here's another reason why black Americans are so sensitive, is because a lot of them love to exaggerate race. I mean, not race, racism. I'm sorry, just bear with me. They love to exaggerate racism. And, you know, it's sad to know that every single black Republican conservative here in America, many of which are really popular, they all say that racism has never been lower in like American history. Throughout all of American history, for as long as black people have lived in this country, racism in general has never been lower than it is now in modern times. But of course, the mainstream media, super far left-wing liberal news anchors and radio station like talk hosts or whatever, and super far left-wing Hollywood celebrities, and of course super far left-wing liberal politicians want so many black Americans, as many as possible, to believe that racism is still like an ongoing crisis, like as if it's one of the most like deadliest, most worst crimes and crises in like the whole world, as if America is like the most racist fucking country in the whole fucking world. And it's also kind of sad to know that I think everyone, at least at some point in time in their life, experiences racism from someone, either from another race. Hell, even sometimes people from their own race can be racist against their own kind. I'm dead serious. I mean, literally. Some black people can be racist towards other black people. Some white people can be racist towards white people. Some Asian people can be racist towards other Asian people. Some Indian people can be racist towards Indian people, and so on and so forth. Like, it's not just like exclusive to black people. It's not like black Americans are the only race anywhere in the world that faces racism on a daily, day-to-day basis or whatever. And it's also pretty disgusting that I've seen so many videos in so many news reports and whatnot of young black Americans, and of course it's the young ones who do shit like this. Anyone who they think or feel is being racist towards them, or people of their race, they'll pull out their fucking phone, acting all high and mighty and proud and prideful and arrogant and superior and boastful and loud, and start videotaping whoever they feel or think or believe is being racist towards them. Whether it's a white person, an Asian person, a Mexican person, a Muslim person, an Indian person, whoever it is, they'll pull out their phones or whatever other mobile device they have, and then they'll say shit like, look at everyone, this is the face of racism. This is the face of racism. Like recently, I saw a video of a young black American guy videotaping using his phone a Asian guy who supposedly or apparently was being racist either towards him or people of his race. And this guy, of course, flipped out. And he started videotaping this poor Asian guy. And he started, of course, shoving his phone in this Asian guy's face and saying, look at, this is the face of racism. Look at, this is the face of racism. And you know, I have never, honest to God, in my entire life, I have never seen this sort of thing done by any other race of people other than specifically black Americans. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but I'm just saying it how it is. I'm just telling you all what I have honestly seen in my own experience in my lifetime, even if it's just simply online. Like, I have never seen a single white person ever walk up to a black person, even if they were being racist, and like start videotaping them, this black person, and saying like, look everyone, this is the face of racism right here. Look for everyone to see, everyone in the world to see. I'm gonna gain so much attention from this. No, because of course, the only people who ever get praised and glorified and puffed up by the mainstream media is, of course, black Americans, because they're portrayed to be the most deprived, underprivileged, oppressed victims in America. They're portrayed as having it the hardest, or having it the worst, or having it the most difficult in life all around than compared to pretty much any other race of people in this country of America. Like, they just have it the most bad, supposedly or apparently, according to celebrities, liberal politicians, liberal mainstream media and radio stations. And it's just so annoying and irritating. It honestly drives some people mad. It literally does, because it gets so old. It literally gets so old because it's so obvious that all these narratives and notions pushed by liberal radio stations, news media, celebrities, or liberal politicians is all fucking bullshit. It's all fucking garbage. It's all lies. It's all false. It's all fake garbage. It's fake news, to put it simple. And like, I've never seen an Asian person go up to any race of person who supposedly may be being racist towards either that certain specific Asian person or other people of that race, and this Asian person pull out their mobile device and start recording, being like, this is the face of racism. I've never seen Mexican Americans do that. I've never seen Asian Americans do that. I've never seen Muslim Americans do that, or Indian Americans do that. I've never seen Native Americans do that. I've never seen white people do that, ever, at all. I've only ever seen this be done or ever happen by none other than black Americans. And, you know, it just makes me scratch my head in wonder, why are black Americans like this? Like, seriously, why are they so sensitive? Why do they literally act like they have it the worst? They have it the most difficult. They have it the most hardest. They have the most suffering. They're the most suppressed. They're the most deprived. They're the most underprivileged. They're the biggest victims on the face of this planet. Like, that is all so untrue and false. And it really does annoy me and irritate me. And, you know, I also want to backtrack a bit when talking about all the black girls or even black men who believe the fake bullshit ass narrative and notion that the reason they or people from their race are being supposedly and apparently wrongfully and unjustly murdered by police officers of any race, honestly, because of their skin color. Like, I want to just talk about that for a bit, because when it comes down to it, no Black American who does get shot by a police officer of any race, anywhere, anytime, is not because of their skin color or because of their race. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. The reason why once in a great while, but of course the mainstream media makes it seem like it happens like every single fucking day, because this is pretty much one of the most popular things that ever gets the attention of celebrities, liberal politicians, liberal radio stations, and liberal news media. Whenever a Black man or woman is supposedly and apparently wrongfully, unjustly killed or murdered, or whatever words they use, by a police officer, who could be white, who could be Mexican, who could be Asian, who could even be a Black police officer, but they only do it when it's a white officer, of course, and obviously. And they try to, of course, and obviously make this white police officer look like a racist cunt every single fucking time it happens, even though it doesn't happen that often as so many Black Americans believe that it does. But anyway, the reasons why Black Americans are shot sometimes and killed by police officers is because, first of all, the ones who are getting shot and murdered usually are thugs, criminals, gangsters. And obviously, if you're going to be someone of that lifestyle and that culture, you're going to have a very good chance at getting eventually, sooner or later, shot and killed by a police officer. But guess what the reality actually is? There are more black on black murders or crimes, if you will, than there ever is or has been throughout American history. Police brutality is what they call it. Police brutality on Black Americans. Like, that shit is very rare. It's literally like once in a blue moon. And you know, one thing that also has been actually proven by statistics, if you actually try to look for it and find it, although of course Google will probably try to bury the truth, as are all these super far left-wing liberal things about anything. They always try to bury or hide or even entirely remove the truth. But when a Black man will start running away from an officer, a police officer himself or herself, if it's a woman police officer, is more likely to accidentally shoot and kill a white person than that Black person. Like, I'm just gonna tell you all right now, even if it was an accident. And you know, it's also sad because a lot of other races face police brutality. There are many video clips that, if you actually try to look for, of police officers killing white people, suffocating white people, kneeling on them, on their neck or on their back, shooting them, or whatever. Like, and you know, of course there are bad police officers. I don't doubt that for a second. Seriously, I'm not even gonna lie. I don't doubt that for 1 second, that there are probably some bad police officers. But even if there's only 1, 2, or a few bad police officers, Should Black Americans have the right to just totally bash, judge, and ridicule and lash out against and be extremely violent and vile and disgusting and hostile and bitter towards all police officers just because there's one bad one, maybe two, maybe three? Like, it's just not fair. It would be like someone hating an entire race of people because of what a few of them are doing. Do you honestly think that's fair? Like, I just want to honestly take the time to ask Black Americans this honest to God question. Like, what if there was a white person or a Mexican person or an Asian person or whatever who hated all of you black people, all of you, just because of what a couple of you were doing, a few of you, a fraction of you or your people were doing? That would not be fair. Exactly, like, that would not be fair, right? It would be mean. It would be cruel to exclude an entire race of people just because of what a fraction of them would have been doing that you didn't like or that you hated or something. It's not fair. It's not right. And that goes for literally anyone. And it's not right or fair for any Black Americans to hate all white people because of what a fraction of them may be doing to people of their race. Or it's not fair for Black Americans to hate all police officers because what a fraction of them are doing. And, you know, one reason also that police officers will shoot and murder a black man sometimes, not always, is because a lot of times, and this is also a way that I can prove that Black Americans are literally so unbelievably, outrageously sensitive, because when a police officer pulls over any Black American, black man or black woman, and more so a black man, is more capable of doing something like this than compared to a black woman. But almost every single time that a officer, any police officer, anywhere, anytime, pulls over a black man will get so defensive, so unreasonably defensive. Like when a police officer will ask nicely and calmly and just normally for the man's driver's license or whatever, and black men will be like, why do I have to give you my driver's license? Because you're not telling me what you pulled me over for. Why should I comply with you or the law? Because you're not telling me what you pulled me over for. If you tell me what you pulled me over for, I will apply, I will comply with the law or you and hand over my driver's license, when that is the most stupid, foolish thing that anyone of any race can do. And I know that it's probably not just black men who do shit like this. It's pretty much anyone who feels all proud, prideful, high and mighty and superior and pretty much above the law. But so far I've only ever seen this come from black men in specific. They always resist arrest. And I don't mean like always, but almost always. And in the first of many ways that they resist arrest, they refuse to hand over their driver's license. Like, honestly, why can't at least whenever black people get pulled over by police officers for any reason at all, regardless of what the reason was for, why can't they act just like white people do for just this certain specific moment of their life, which would really benefit them? Why can't they pretty much act like white people and act like really good, sweet, innocent people who are not ghetto or whatever, and will comply with the police officer and the law and just act like a normal, everyday, average, ordinary American citizen. Like, why can't they just be like, oh yeah, sure, here's my driver's license. And when the police officer leaves, like, and says you have a good rest of your day, and the black person says, hey, you too. It's like, why can't they just do that? I mean, why is doing that so hard and difficult and pretty much impossible for so many of them, for some odd, strange, bizarre, weird reason for them to do? Like, seriously, why can't they just do that? And, you know, it's not like police officers want to detain or arrest black men. They don't want to do that. That just makes their day more hard and difficult than it needs to be. Like, if black Americans were more loving, caring, kind, sweet, and humble and meek people, they would comply with the police officers and the law. Just like pretty much everyone else does. And honestly, when I get pulled over by the police, which is not that often, but I have before, and when I do, it scares the shit out of me. Like, on the inside, I am trembling and shaking. I feel stressed the fuck out. I mean, literally, I am scared shitless when I ever do get pulled over by a police officer for whatever reason, or even just talked to by a police officer. Like, if police officers drive their cars up to me for whatever reason, because somebody reported me for some dumb shit or whatever, like I was maybe laying accidentally on their property or sitting on it because I was tired or exhausted or whatever, and then these police officers will start talking to me, like, I'm scared. Like, I'm not going to act all like cool and tough and all high and mighty and superior and like I'm above the law and I can just literally get away with anything and treating a police officer like shit. Because I know if I did that, I would get either shot or tased or detained and arrested myself. And I'm not going to make that mistake that sadly so many black Americans make themselves. And honestly, there is a part of me that does feel bad and sorry for many black Americans who think that they are in the right to resist arrest. And then that will just lead the police officer, him or herself, to having to kneel on their back or on their neck, or tase them, or shoot them, or get other police officers to pretty much like manhandle just like one fucking guy. And you know, that's another thing. Like, when it comes to even just one black man, there will need to be like 4 or 5 police officers detaining just one black man. And you know why that is? It's because black people are strong as fuck. And I mean literally, physically, and this is actually a compliment. Black men, and even women, their bones are bigger and stronger than compared to pretty much any other race of people on the face of this earth. They have bigger bones, they're taller, their bodies, even just in general, are bigger and more muscular. And that's why, like, sometimes in some cases, police officers will need backup to just detain even one black man, which obviously seems ridiculous and kind of overboard, which I will agree myself. But at the same time, I also understand why some police officers do that, because it's not easy to detain even one black man, because he's very strong, even just one black man. And a lot of them are, because many of them are raised in the ghetto, in one of the hardest, most dangerous, most violent environments that anyone could be raised in. But usually it's black people. And you know, not only that, but when a black person gets pissed off and angry and starts resisting arrest, it's so much more scarier than compared to any other race of people, like white people, Mexican people, Asian people, Indian people, Muslim people. Like literally, when a black person gets angry, just even in general, at even anyone for any reason, a black man like raging at another black man, or another man of another race, or a black woman at another black woman, or a woman of any other race, like it's scary. When they get angry, they are extremely intimidating because, again, they're very loud, very proud and prideful, boastful people. And, you know, when they do get scary, like I said, they are intimidating, and that is a fact. They're scary when they are angry and pissed off. Oh, they show it. That is for damn sure. They most definitely show, like, some scary shit when they get angry. And that's one of the reasons why also a police officer will have to get more than one police officer, or in other words, backup, to just simply detain and arrest one black man. But if black people would stop resisting arrest and stop acting all high and mighty, prideful and proud and arrogant, and acting all superior and above the law, then they wouldn't get arrested, they wouldn't get shot, they wouldn't get tased, and they wouldn't get kneed on the neck or on the back. And here's another thing. Black Americans, the reason why they do resist arrest is because of the mainstream media. A lot of liberal politicians, liberal news anchors, liberal radio station talk hosts, and super far left-wing liberal celebrities who are total idiots encourage them to actually resist arrest and to be violent and physically and verbally aggressive towards police officers. And I mean, after all, what is one of the most biggest things that black Americans have that they pretty much get their ideas or encouragement from, their motivation from, and their personality and characteristics and their behavior and traits and personality from? Not all of them, but some of them. Rap music, gangster movies, of course, liberal politicians, liberal news anchors, liberal radio talk show hosts, and super far left-wing liberal celebrities. They all look up to. Many of them do, because many black Americans grow up without dads in the homes. They grow up in fatherless homes. Not all of them, I never said all of them, but many of them do. And at least according to statistics, and even according to each and every single, even black Republican conservative American, also say that there are 75% of black Americans who grow up without a dad, so they have nobody to teach them right from wrong, good from evil. They have no one to discipline them and give them a consequence or a punishment when they do something bad or wrong or whatever. And they have no one in their life to pretty much look up to, like a good role model, a good, strong leader in the home and household to keep them on the right path, which is why many of them do turn out to be gangsters, hoodlums, hood rats, thugs, criminals, prostitutes, and all that other sad, tragic shit, because they don't have a father in the home. That's why they turn out to be those kinds of people when they grow up, because they also get the idea and the influence and inspiration from hood movies and rap songs and rap music videos who glorify and glamorize the hood culture and hood lifestyle. And I know that even for myself. I mean, even I'm kind of a victim to that myself, because I'm not gonna act like when I don't listen to gangster rap or watch a hood movie that I'm not like influenced by that to some extent, or that I'm not inspired by that myself, or that I don't have an attraction or connection to that myself. So I don't want to totally and completely blame and judge Black Americans for being that way that they are, but I'm just simply trying to enlighten them and let them in on some truths, at least, that I hope they can take into account and into consideration themselves, and maybe even share this video around if they want to. And you know, I also want to talk about in today's video that one way that I've also found out that Black Americans are so sensitive is in the way where Black women, for example, seem to get really highly offended whenever anyone of any race fetishizes Black women. They hate that shit. They really get angry and pissed off about that. They get really offended by that. And you know, like at the same time, I'm kind of like, I mean, why though? Are those people who even may be fetishizing Black women, whether they're white men, Asian men, Mexican men, Muslim men, Indian men, or whatever, like, are they hurting you guys, physically at least, by fetishizing Black women? I mean, honestly, like, tell me, are they hurting either you or other women of your race or anyone else? And if not, I mean, why is it that big of a deal? Like, honestly, if there were a Black woman, even just one, who fetishized white men, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't give a damn. Like, even if I thought it was kind of silly, like, I would not at all be fazed by it. I wouldn't be bothered by it. Honest to God, I wouldn't. Or if there were Black men who fetishized white women, I wouldn't care. I literally wouldn't care. I would not be bothered. I would not be offended. I would not be fazed or hurt or whatever, or angry about that. Like, I would not care. I literally would not care. I would not be offended. I would not be hurt. I would not think that's something bad and wrong or something. Like, I just honestly don't get that about Black women. And when it comes to certain men who do fetishize Black women, I mean, in a way, it's like, can you really blame those men? A lot of you Black women are crazy, insane, gorgeous, beautiful, sexy, hot, good-looking, attractive, fine as hell looking women. I mean, even out of most other races of women, so many men of other races want so badly to get with the Black woman. And honestly, I do think that many men do have a very strong and powerful attraction to Black women, including white men, but they're probably intimidated by them. I mean, I'm not even going to act like I'm not myself. I am most definitely and certainly intimidated by Black women. Because let's face it, Black women are extremely confident, loud, boastful, proud, and prideful of themselves and women of their race. And they hold themselves up in like high esteem. They act all high and mighty and superior, whether or not that's a good thing. And I do think that a lot of men probably find that extremely intimidating because other women of other races aren't as proud, aren't as prideful, aren't as high and mighty or act all superior, and don't have as much like high self-esteem or whatever, or confidence that Black women do themselves. So it's like, can you really blame men who do fetishize you or other women of your race? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is a bad thing. I don't know. But I personally just don't understand why they're so offended and hurt by that when, I mean, I feel like they should take that as a compliment. I don't know though, but like, I don't know. But anyway, I don't know, like, and I think it's sad that whenever it comes to pretty much anyone of any other race, they have to be like careful about what they say in regards to Black Americans or regarding Black Americans or Black people. I think that's sad. Like, I honestly wouldn't care if people talked like this about my race. I really wouldn't. But anyway, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I'm out.